Good morning. My name is Graham Ross from SmithLord. I was delighted to accept the invitation to have this opportunity to reflect on some of the themes and issues that have arisen from our work in numerous Scottish towns over the last number of years. Small towns across the country, the centre becomes synonymous with the town. It's the receptacle for its collective memory, the shared experiences in these places, and the soul. This is an image here of from the International Space Station, a snapshot of the central belt of Scotland, a place which has got a great many fantastic towns, but also places that have some significant challenges. Vic Reeves once said that 73% of statistics are made up on the spot, but I have on good authority that 80% of Scotland's people live on only 2% of the land, making us one of the most urbanised countries in Europe. And 30% of the population live in towns of 10,000 people or less. So clearly the debate that we're having today in terms of the role of towns and small towns in particular is absolutely fundamental to the overall situation across the country. In delivering these visions and ambitions, it's important obviously to have a strategic approach, but also combine that with an incremental and tactical approach. And that's something that's been fundamental in the approach that we've taken in our work in urban design, landscape and architecture. This 20-second slide does not seem to be occurring. So, as we've heard earlier on today, the policies that surround placemaking and also place mending have clearly converged and aligned over the last number of years. I think it's very welcome that the Creating Places policy document for architecture and placemaking, alongside designing places and designing streets and the town centre review, have all ensured that, as I say, there's a convergence and an alignment which enables us, if we use the correct skills and the courage to implement in a way which supports our town centres. Combining physical place shaping with socio and economic initiatives is absolutely fundamental to achieving outcomes, and that's certainly something that informs our approach. Our approach is very much about collaboration and communication. It's vital that we listen and learn to the experts, notably the locals, the local residents and the local businesses who are operating in towns. And we've used a range of techniques, such as charrettes, to move away from a predict and provide way of planning towards a debate and decide way of planning. Responsive design is fundamental as well, and there are some timeless lessons and principles that you can apply to good place making and good place shaping, and move to a position where your environments are not determining behaviour, but they're certainly making it a more probabilistic way of working in terms of encouraging positive activity and behaviour within our town centres. Town centre living, as we've heard earlier on, is absolutely fundamental, and a number of our projects have involved small incremental infill development in key locations in town centres. Myself and Doug Wheeler and others undertook some research for the Scottish Government some years ago into the barriers of delivering mixed use. And there was a number of barriers to delivery, including and oftentimes conflicts between different aspects of policy or different aspects of funding and deal making. And it's absolutely essential that we integrate policy so that it reduces those conflicts. We've heard earlier on today about the town centre first principle, and again, providing access to public services in and around our town centres and retaining that in quality environments is absolutely fundamental and essential. In the post-retail landscape, ensuring that there's employment opportunities within town centres is clearly supported by policy, and it's not only about entrepreneurship and starting new micro-businesses, but also about enabling new businesses and unestablished businesses to thrive with a ladder of accommodation. Access to and into our town centres is clearly key. Connecting town centres within their city regions is vital, and even more so towns that are with city region catchments, ensuring that they have connectivity to the rural hinterland is another critical aspect. It's a privilege to be here today in Paisley Town Hall. We were fortunate enough to be involved in the conservation work of the external envelope and the renewal of the foyer and entrance steps, and I'm delighted to be joined by David Miller, our Head of Conservation. And a great many of our towns in Scotland have a wonderful legacy and are blessed with significant built heritage, such as we've been hearing in Paisley. And it's also pleasing to hear a lot of the initiatives that were outlined in the Townscape Heritage Initiative that David and Doug Wheeler took forward some years ago coming to fruition. How we renew historic assets requires ingenuity, skill, and a significant effort, as many of you will know. And dovetailing that rich built environment and built heritage with the social history of our towns and places is something that we revel in. Numerous towns have hidden and hitherto underplayed richness, and we look at ways in which we can work with artists and work with others to enliven and enrich and reveal that backstory and history of the places and towns within which we are working. And you may recognise some of the slides from Stuart's previous presentation. Scotland also has a proud tradition of planning and planned towns, and we've currently got the privilege of working within Helensburgh for Argyll and Bute Council, looking at principal public realm works within the town centre. But these works have been indexed directly to economic performance, and indeed there was baseline studies undertaken prior to the works to ensure that and to measure against these key performance outcomes. And in consultation, one of the key issues that came up was the need for and the lack of a town museum. Now that wasn't within the gift of the project, but what evolved from that was a proposition of actually creating an outdoor museum within Cahoon Square, the main space, which has then become the receptacle of a range of artefacts which have been brought together by Peter McCaughey and his team at Wave, and are then transforming these bollards into plinths. You saw some images earlier on from Kilwinning, and we were delighted to be involved in that project. As Stuart mentioned, 7 years ago or thereby, there was increasing vacancy. The town environment was dismal and dreary, and there was a general discontent about the quality of the town centre. Not only were we able to enhance the design and the look and feel of the place, but clearly we were able to make it the sunshine and the blue skies come as well. But that high quality environment has had some delightful unintended consequences. There was various rumours about these masons' marks pointing the direction to the Holy Grail. Dan Brown in his Da Vinci Code was the big book at the time, and what we're talking about is not in Roslin Chapel, it's under the Abbey in Kilwinning. And more recently you might have caught this advert which went viral on the internet and on social media, where a local travel agent has actually felt proud enough of their renewed town centre and the setting of the town centre to actually have this spoof advert, which, as I say, became a worldwide sensation on social media. So it's absolutely fundamental to work collaboratively on an interdisciplinary basis to ensure that the place shaping supports the socio and economic outcomes of the place making and the place mending in our towns. Aligning policy and working through conflicts is key and critical, and holding to the key design principles and quality to ensure that the place making is of the highest standard that can be achieved is vital as well. So we should be celebrating the best in placemaking and place mending in our towns in Scotland, and I very much look forward to hearing some more of your own stories in the course of the day. And after the session, you're more than welcome to join David, Stuart and myself to talk through this further. Thank you.